spot. I think they're going to go into this game winning you're in, losing you're out. But let's say I'm wrong about that. You know what I mean? Let's say that either the Jags lose or the Steelers lose, whatever it is. They still had to have been preparing all week as if our season is on the line. Mm-hmm. And I think they have played back-to-back very poor games. Now, Miami just played one poor game, but also got their best win of the year 2 weeks ago. And they're banged up, and you can rationalize if Miami loses. What's the problem is they're going to have to go to Kansas City, which I don't think they can win there. But I know a lot of people think they have a better chance of winning in Kansas City than they do at home against the Bills, which I don't totally understand, but it seems to be somewhat conventional wisdom here. Buffalo needs to have some true good feeling going into this postseason. And I know they're on the winning streak, but there's also really weird Stephon Diggs stuff going on. Coach was talking during the break about how we don't talk as much about the Bills we do the Cowboys. Mm-hmm. The Bills, the local reporter there, Tim Graham, was trying to ask about Stephon Diggs, and he said they ended the press conference. It was a digital press conference. Diggs hasn't spoken to the media in weeks, and nobody cares because it's upstate New York. A.J. Brown doesn't do it for 3 days. It's an international incident. And so I just think if they lose and sneak into the playoffs, they're drawing dead Bruce. So I think it's
I agree with you that them getting the second seed would be the vibes they need. All right. I mean, if they got the second seed, it would almost erase what's been a nightmare season.
I think it would.
Right? And you go in there feeling like we got 11 wins. The way we got here was crazy, but we're here, and we had a better year than Kansas City. I mean, you could think at that point. So I agree with you there, but I just think with Miami, their only chance, and I don't think they're getting out of the AFC anyway, but their only chance of doing it is as the number 2 seed with home field for a few of those games. Buffalo, because they are so up and down, I do think they're not great on the road either, by the way, but I do think they're a team that, because of the way they play and their nature, that they could go on the road and beat somebody. I think they could. I'm not saying I pick them. They could go into Kansas City and win that game. And so I think Miami needs it more.
If Buffalo wins this game, they're really dangerous. They're really dangerous going to the playoffs because, it has been a disappointing season, but they're going to go into the playoffs riding a huge win streak. They're going to have clawed their way back to being champions again, which nobody gave them a chance to be 5 or 6 weeks ago. And they're going to have a ton of momentum. And I know they haven't played great the last few weeks, but them finding a way to win, that's huge. That's huge, and they become very dangerous. If Miami doesn't win, now it's a collapse. They've lost 3 out of 5 games. They had the division essentially sewed up. They couldn't do it. Now they've got to go try to figure it out in the playoffs. It's a totally different equation for these two teams based on winning.
It should also be noted that if the Steelers don't win, if the Ravens win, and then Miami wins this game, we're getting this game again in round 1. Buffalo at Miami. If Miami wins, they get this game in 2 versus 7. Yeah, if the Steelers don't
see it and you hear it, it's time now for a segment. So hot, my grandmother gave it up for dry January. Not funny if you had the problem. It's Upset Alert, Coach. Brew has been very hot. I've also been smoking hot. But you're kicking us off. I don't remember your last one, to be 100% honest with you, but I'm sure
it was fantastic. It's all been great. I'm going with Carolina.
No!
I'm going with Carolina.
You've been a Baker guy all year.
I want Baker to win. You know, I want Carolina to win for my son Zach. But I'm going with Carolina. And I've got a few keys that I think Carolina can look at. And then the first one is they got to force Tampa to run the ball. That's the first and foremost. And you go to the stats, they're 31st running the ball. They're 87.3 yards per game. And I think E.J. Evero, the defensive coordinator, is going to do a great job of a lot of split safety defense and force the Bucs to win this game by running. The second thing, no big plays. Okay, and if you look at the stats from Tampa, they've been really good with that. Whether it's plus 20-yard passes, right on down the line, TDs. And the first game, what was the difference? The difference was a Mike Evans 75-yard, big play, total difference in the game. No big plays. And then the final thing, and this is offensively, they got to stay ahead of the sticks. Okay, they have to stay ahead of the sticks and take a look at the numbers. For Bryce Young, it's been terrible on early down. 4.5, 51.3, right on down the line. And the way to do this is you're going to either run the ball, or in the passing game, it's a lot of quick throws, wide receiver screens, things like that. Just give yourself a chance, because the first time they played them, they were 3 for 15 on third down. If they can get that to something marginally better, it was such a close game last time. I think that'll be enough to carry them.
I love it.
Terrible pick. I want to tell you guys a great pick. Drew, do you remember when Wild got 3 in a row correct last year? And we did a whole commercial campaign surrounding it? We've done 17 of these. No, 16, because we were all surprised. You got 9. So I made this for you, buddy.
Nice, bro.
Show it, please.
So I am going with round 2. I got Lamar and the Ravens fully. Miles alert. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Who they will own the game? The Raiders over the Jets. In Arrowhead, the Eagles will fly high. Russ Cook pushes Staley to the roof. Pittsburgh Steelers over the Cincinnati Bengals. Pittsburgh, from the rugged AFC North, is going to go up in there and beat the Seattle Seahawks.
Excellent. I mean, Brew, that's 9 outright winners. A lot of pressure on you.
Nick,
Fantastic job.
That is fantastic.
you almost make a brother want to cry. Because you're always looking for ways to get me.
Yeah.
You either ask me questions so you get a little of my information, or you just flat out lie to me sometimes
This
in the
was a
pre-show
nice
meeting.
thing
Yeah,
I
Brew,
did.
I'm going here, and then you set me up for a banner or
I'm
something
still not
like that.
ruling it out right now.
I know. Something's
It's
coming.
coming, Brew.
I did something nice.
Coming.
And that's why I want to cry. But anyway, this one, I got to be honest, I felt better about it before I found out Ryan Tannehill was
You wouldn't
starting.
dare.
Yeah, the Prince is iffy. I got the Titans, Nick. And it's odd that it comes after you gave me that.
Good job, bro. Good job. He killed my
victory
pick.
lap.
Your pick is
Right.
awesome.
Nick, they have played Houston, Indy, and there was one other tough team they played. They lost by 3. Was it Seattle? Yeah.
Tennessee, you mean?
Yeah.
And they beat
Miami. Like, I know last week it looked bad against Houston, but they have been close. And what put me over the top was Mike Vrabel. I mean, my goodness, I'm ready to run through a wall.
So good.
The Prince is toast.
Okay.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
I got the Titans.
Excellent pick. This side of the table is hot. Now it's time for the Punxsutawney Phil of football. You might say, like, hey, it doesn't matter. It's this side of the table where it's called team. I'm going with Ravens over the Steelers. What? Wild? The Steelers need it, and the Ravens are chilling. Yeah, guess what? This happened in 2019. Final week of the 2019 season, the Steelers needed to win and get help, and the Ravens, with Lamar about to win his first MVP, rested. And what happened? Ravens rolled. So that is going to happen again. And here's the other weird part about this rivalry, because the Steelers largely owned the Ravens when they played head-to-head. Except, and then this is an odd one to figure out, when the Ravens are underdogs, they win. When the Ravens are favored, they lose. So it's bizarre. So the other thing that is the elephant in the room is this, Nick, and I know you're waiting on it. The idea that the Ravens, who are resting in a meaningless game against Mike Tomlin's Steelers, I do get it. The problem is the Ravens play hard on even the most meaningless games, which is the NFL preseason. They're out here sending tweets, setting records that literally no one cares about it. The record was broken this year. I wouldn't be surprised if they brought it up in the pre-game meeting. Like, remember that? We lost the preseason record.
This is really, though, your pick? You're not doing the...
I've got another pick. I got bullied into this pick because I barely believe it. But I'm going to say it confidently, so if it happened, I get some credit on social media. Commanders to cover straight up over the Cowboys. And again, history is on my side. Because if I said it's raining frogs, you, of course, are going to rain frogs on Sunday. you would have a right to be like, wow, that sounds ridiculous. But you can't say there's 0% chance when last year, on January 8th, it also rained frogs. When the Cowboys lost to the Commanders with nothing to play for, and Micah says he was focused.
This is what happened. We get through a sizzle reel. You're doing double picks. You don't even believe it. Time out for next picks. Red hot the last few weeks. But here's the situation. We started slow. So we're 6 games under 500. So you know what we're going to do this week? Little half dozen. 6 picks.
Wow.
Give us a chance to get to 500 for the year. They call it, some call that chasing your losses. I call it smart financial planning. Browns getting 7. I watched Jamar Chase laugh and giggle like a school child after being eliminated from the postseason. And TNT playing. Also, Jim Schwartz. You know, one of the great things about having a defense as simple as Schwartz's defense, line up and play, which has been so good, backups can do it. So you're getting 7 points for a Bengals team that's 1, 2, 3 Cancun. Give me Cleveland. Next. Patriots minus 1.5 against the Jets. Belichick not losing his swan song in New York. And by the way, how about this for the opposite of the Andy Reid effect? Robert Saleh with extra rest, meaning with more time to coach the team. Worst coach in 20 years against the spread. Look it up, America. Next, Detroit minus 3. Dan Campbell is still angry. Is the next pick, please? Do we have it? I promise you it's Detroit minus 3. There it is. Dan Campbell's still mad. They're technically alive for the 2 seed. And here's the thing. This game's at 1. Philly and Dallas are at 4:30, so they're not going to know. So they got to play hard. The Minnesota quarterback situation, disaster. Next, Giants getting 5.5 against Philly. Prediction, Dallas cooking Washington. Philly takes Jalen Hurts out. Tyrod Taylor and Brian Dable try to make a little offense go. All of a sudden, back to recover. Next, Chicago plus 3 at Green Bay. This team's playing hard for Eberflus. They're playing hard for Justin Fields. I don't know if it's going to matter. Everybody cooks Joe Barry's defense. And listen, they've been winning and playing close the last 6 weeks. And last but not least, the better team is at home. Miami plus 2.5. It's very simple. And Buffalo's going to see Pittsburgh win on Saturday. Go to bed thinking, oh my God, our season's on the line. You're going to have, my guy McDermott's going to be thinking of, I got to have a hell of a pregame speech this time. You know, last time it didn't go so well. There it is. Miami plus 2.5. There's the pick 6.
Do we have any conflicts? We don't, right?
I don't think so, buddy.
You have 6, I have 2, that's 8, 9, 10, and 0. And you're on fire, so you'll be, 7.
Oh, man.
Going through.
Excellent job. Coming up
Can we
next.
see that montage again?
Did Travis Kelce try to go for 16 yards? It's a full game for him.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FB.